Hey guys, Storm2111, and for your viewing pleasure today, I've got another Nanoblock kit, this time of Magikarp, NBPM number 035. Yep, and of course if you know the history of the Pokemon franchise, Magikarp is referred to as the weakest Pokemon in the whole franchise. It was either weakest or useless, but he's not really weak or useless. He evolves into the mighty Gyarados, one of the most powerful water-type dragon Pokemons. And hopefully one of these days I'd like to do a Gyarados Nanoblock build, but for now I'm going to be sticking with Magikarp, and like I like to do in all my videos, show you the contents of the box. Here we go. It's also got the instruction booklet, and as luck would have it, it's got all the pieces I need to build Magikarp. So I'm going to put the pieces together and show you guys what I'm going to need for this build. Okay, so I've done sorting out the bricks for this model, and as you can probably tell from the flyby, we've got a lot of red, we got a lot of, well, it's basically a lot of red. We got some yellow, we got some white, and we've also got a cream yellow colour as well, which it was rather hard to tell which pieces was cream and which one was proper yellow. These ones right here, they are definitely proper yellow, whereas these ones here, those are the creams. I believe the creams are for the fins and the tail fin of Magikarp. I'll find out as I go along the build. I've also got some clear plastic pieces, and some black as well, and of course some proper pink as well. So I'm going to get started on the build for the Magikarp. I'm going to be starting out from the base of Magikarp's body himself. So this should be a really fun build, guys. Yeah, so I've just done the first step, which was the easiest part of them all. It was just two little triangle T pieces right here, a 2x3 and a 1x3, and that was it really. So we're just getting a good grip on the base of the model itself. So now we're going to move on to the next step, which will be step 2, building upwards from the the body of Magikarp. Okay, we have just done the second step of the build. As you can see, we've used 2 of each, the T's first and foremost, then the 1x3s, and then the 2x4s. And it was rather done in a I don't know what the word is to best describe it. It was a very rounded build, quite interesting. It's sort of like identical. If you guys know what the correct term is, please let me know in the comments below, because I am not very good with this kind of terminology. But yeah, I started out with what looked like the front, and as you can see from the previous step, right there, I started out here, then I worked my way backwards, and it just came together as it is. So yeah, I'm glad about step 2. I'm now going to move on to step 3. Okay, we are now done with the third step, and as you can tell, we used a pink T here at the front. That was the first step that I did, so that I can use it as my base for the step build, and then I moved along to each of the void parts of it, right about here. I used the 1x3s, and then I worked on its side with the 1x4s, then 2x4s, and then another 1x4. I think this part right here is where we're going to work on the tail, so that will come in due time. But for now, I'm going to get started on step 4 of the build, and I believe I am working on more of Magikarp's mouth and fins. Shouldn't be that long. Yep, and this is the end result for the step 5. Step 4, guys. My bad. We've done the little pink 1x1 squares here for Magikarp's mouth, as you can probably tell by here. We've also done some 1x2s and 1x3s, and then we folded up with yellow 1x3s, and yes, there is I think this is a creamy 1x3. Yeah, a creamy yellow 1x3. So, quick tip on separating the pieces. If there's pieces of different colors, different shades, make sure that you put the pieces under a very bright light if you can. If you can't, just wait until it's a very bright day or something like that. I'm not I don't know, but make sure that you take very great care when sorting out the pieces for the builds. So yeah, and we've also done some little proper squares of the reds, and then 1x2s, 1x4s, and then 2x3s. So I'm really happy with step 4. I'm now going to get started on step 5, where I look like I'm continuing on with Magikarp's mouth. So I'm going to get started on that step, guys. Here we go, we are now done with step 5. So again, I started off with the little pink 1x1 squares, then worked my way backwards with the 2x3 and the 2x2 red, then the 1x2 whites, and I have made sure that they are the pure whites and not the creamy whites. Remember my little tip from earlier? It really did help out sorting out all the pieces before I started this build. Then I did the 1x2 reds, the 2x2s, the 2x3s, and then little 1x1 reds, and then another creamy yellow 1x3. So it was a really good progress on this part. So I'm now going to start on the next step, and it looks like I am finishing the mouth and also starting to work on Magikarp's eyes. And here we are with the end of step 6. I have done what I said I was going to do. I've done the rest of the mouth. I've also started work on his eyes. Well, most of his eyes are really done. What I started off, and I always like to do this, at the front of the model, on the picture as well, started off with the pink T, then the little 1x1 reds next to it. Then I did the eyes, the 1x2 whites, and then the black, and then the 1x2 white, which is rather apparent. The 1x3 reds, and then a little 1x2. I did have a little bit of an oops moment on this part of Magikarp right here. I accidentally pushed in one of the pieces of the earlier parts in, and I just had to try and rearrange it as best as I could. But now that part is fixed, and we also carried on, well, it was practically the same on the other side, the 1x3s and the 1x2s. Then, moving on backwards, I did a 1x2 on the end of the 1x3 here, then another 1x3, and then finally a 2x3, and then a 1x3 cream yellow. Starting to build up on Magikarp's tail fin. So I'm gonna start work on step 7. Okay, it looks like we're mostly done with Magikarp's body. It's the eye is done, and of course we've also started to work on the back tail fin here. So starting off, I did the 2x3, then worked my way backwards with the 1x2 white, then again 2x3 reds, then worked my way backwards with 1x2s heading inwards of Magikarp's body, where finally I finished off with the 1x3 red, then the 1x3 cream yellow. So that step is done. Step 7 is over and done with. I'm now going to move on to step 8, where I hope, well, it looks like I'm doing some finishing touches, little bits of finishing touches on Magikarp's head. Well, his body, more like. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I have just done what looks like the top of Magikarp's body and head. We've also done the tail fin here, which was a basic 1x2 red. At the top, you can see the 2 T reds, and then a 2x3 red at the top. So that stage is done. Step 10, sorry, it looks like it's part of one of the most basic steps, to be honest. And I'm going to, sorry about this, here we go. I'm going to actually do it live on camera, guys. I'm not going to pause the recording or anything. So, practically, the next step is a little 1x4 red, and we just put it at the top, like so. Done. Just make sure that it is according to the instructions before you do it. And, as if one step wasn't enough, I'm going to do the next couple of steps for you as well. So, let's get on with step 11, which is a little 1x3 yellow. Do make sure that it is the yellow and not the cream yellow, because it can be confusing later. There we go, that's that step done. So, step 12, well, it's easy. All it is another 1x3 yellow right here, which we put at the top of Magikarp's crown, then a little 1x2, which is right here, and that is that for step 12. It's really easy to do Magikarp's crown. It's practically one of the key defining features, including his little mouth and whiskers on the side here, which I really like about him. And the next step, which will be, well, the next two steps, which will be step 13 and 14, we just take the little 1x1 yellows, and yes, this is practically the smallest piece in the whole of Nanoblock, any Nanoblock set. So this is why you gotta be careful with these, because when you drop them, they are very difficult to find. There we go. That's step 13, and step 14 is building up on that. There you go. You practically got the top of Magikarp's head done, and he's starting to look like himself, which I'm really glad. And I've got a few more steps to go, so I'm going to go on to step 15, which really shouldn't be that long, guys. And there we go, guys. That is practically step 15 done. It was the finish of Magikarp's tail fin. So it started off with a cream yellow 1x3, and then, let me just get that back into focus. Sorry, guys. Come on. There we go, that's better. A cream yellow 1x3 right here. Then I used it to put the cream yellow 1x2 underneath it. And then right next to it, a red 1x2. Then underneath the cream yellow was a red one, well, the red 1x1 here, the red 1x2 right here. You guys get what I mean, sorry about the mix up. So now I'm going to get started on what I believe to be Magikarp's fins on step 16. Okay, so not only have I done step 16, but I've also done step 17 because, well, it's practically the same thing, except it's done in a completely different direction. It's practically the cream yellow L's, where you do it like, best way to show it is with, hopefully with nanoblocks. One going like, one going like this, and then the other going like that. Just making sure that it is completely opposite from one another, and that you don't mix up the two pieces. Yes. And then what I did was use the cream 1x3s, then a cream 1x2 with a red 1x1, and then finally at the top, the last of the red 1x4s, and then a last cream 1x2 at the bottom. So then it also said that you have to put it on each side of Magikarp right here. So I'm going to pause the video, pause the recording so that I can actually do it correctly, because if you've seen my previous videos, I do not have a good track history of putting pieces on while holding the camera. Okay, and now we are done with Magikarp's side fins. So I managed to get them on quite easily. Thank goodness I did it with both hands, otherwise it would have been a complete total disaster if I was doing it whilst recording. But anyway, I'm glad that it's over and done with, because now I've got to turn Magikarp onto his side right here, because the final step, which is the last step of the build, is underneath Magikarp's torso. Thought I'd show you guys what the process is for step 18. The first process I'm doing is the bottom I don't know what the part is called, but it's underneath Magikarp. It's also going to be how Magikarp will stand once he's fully built. So I started off with the clear 1x3s, the only two clear 1x3s, which was easy to do. Then a yellow 1x2, and then two yellow 1x3s, which act sort of like the well, they sort of build up the underneath of Magikarp's fin. So now I'm going to do the next step, part of that step, which is two yellow 1x2s, and I'm going to assemble them like this. There we go, that's easily done and dusted. And then finally, it is the red 1x4, which is this piece right here. And luckily enough, all it does is go on top, like so. And that's it for Magikarp's bottom fin. So I'm going to also get to work on what looks like Magikarp's whiskers. See you guys in a second. Okay, I have now finished with Magikarp's whiskers, and it just took the rest of the yellow pieces, the 2x1s and the 1x3s. I was short on a 1x3, so I managed to get it from my spare bits bag. Just make sure that if you do have a piece missing, make sure that you have the bits bag with you on hand. Now, it's going to be a bit of a puzzle to try and make sure that it is that the whiskers are done correctly. I'm confident about the bottom fin, but I'm going to try and figure this puzzle out on my own, so I shall be back with you guys with the end result of the build. And this is it. This is Magikarp, Nanoblock Pokemon number 035, and oddly enough, I did manage to get the whiskers on Magikarp all sorted, so I'm really pleased with that, as you can tell. And I'm also, when I was doing the underneath the Magikarp, which I hope I have done correctly according to the instruction booklet, yes, I have. I have done it correctly, as you can see. I am very pleased with this build, and I hope everybody else will give this kind of appreciation to Magikarp, not only in the video games, but also in the anime as well. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you have, please do hit the like button, and please, if you want to see more of this for me to try and do in the future, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys when I see you. Take care!